Hello, I am Freezing Inferno, and welcome to the final week of the Let's Play Springfest. Strider for the NES. But I ain't alone.
Hi, I'm Bpwner, and I'm confused. I thought we were playing Sunset Riders, not Strider.
Oh, sorry, there must have been a mix-up in the mail, but this is a game that you know a lot about.
I do. I have reviewed it and LP'd it. I don't know if that makes me an expert, but I certainly have played this game more times than most human beings should.
Maybe. It's something alright. We got our plot, but it's a lot different from the Strider you might expect, the one on the Sega Genesis, which came in the big fucking box that said 8 mega memory.
You really can't compete with technical wizardry like that, especially on a flat gray NES cart, not a sexy curvy black Genesis cart.
Yeah, it's really good, but yeah, the Genesis version was based on the arcade version, while this one is more faithful to the manga created by Tatsumi Wada.
Indeed.
That's a Japanese name, alright?
The manga came first, and when they made the arcade version, they basically threw out the entire story that this game kind of remains faithful to. This doesn't have anything about Grandmaster Mayo or Solo, but somehow this is the version that people kind of forgot.
Yeah, it's weird that this one became the black sheep, sort of. But this is a non-linear platformer, as opposed to just a straight arcade-style thing. And you've got collecting discs, you've got completely different power-ups, you've got, like, magic spells called tricks. And, well, obviously the graphics are, like, completely different, because this does not have 8 mega memory.
And it's kind of like Bionic Commando in that respect, because that arcade game was a straight-up action platformer, too, and then when it went to the NES, it became a non-linear platformer.
Oh, yeah. Except, Bionic Commando was a lot better put together than Strider on the NES.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be getting a Strider NES rearmed on Xbox Live anytime soon.
Yeah, I doubt it. This game is, really rough around the edges. Like, rough around the edges doesn't even begin to describe Strider. You really kind of have to play it to find it. It's all in the control. It's just really strange. Like, you saw there, my sword just sort of went through that guy, I swear to God.
The hit detection on the sword is really suspect. In the arcade, you can pretty much just hammer that and you'll mutilate everything in your path. But here, you kind of gotta be right up on stuff.
Yeah.
Here we have our first... We collected a general. Too bad he didn't hold him over your head like Link does in Zelda 2 when he gets the kid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this game is kind of like Zelda 2. Also, we have a slide now. Woo!
It looks like he's slipping on big piles of money that they expected to get from the Strider franchise that somehow just never panned out.
It's a shame, though. I mean, you never saw another Strider game after like this one until about 7 years later with Strider 2 on PS1.
Yeah, his Strider Hiryu's reappearance in Marvel vs. Capcom kind of precipitated that, and it was an arcade game that was ported to PlayStation 1. And so here we have the great color changes. You go back to another section. I'm guessing because of some color memory thing, kind of like in the NES Double Dragon, but I've never bothered to look it up. Maybe it's just one of those weird playtesting things again that didn't actually happen at any point in the development cycle.
Exactly. It's Arcade Strider, the famous slogan there was, "Nobody has ever cleared this stage." For this one, it's more like, "Nobody has ever play-tested this shit."
True. But Fresno, I gotta ask, with all this ninja action going around, who is your favorite ninja?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Bpwner. My favorite ninja is Ryu Hayabusa, because he just owns bones. Kills demons and ninja flips, and he can actually cling onto walls, which you'll see how Strider can handle wall clinging very soon, but Ryu Hayabusa is the coolest ninja. Who's your favorite ninja, Bpwner?
My favorite ninja is the Last Ninja, whose name is Armakuni, and I think that's a made-up name, but from the Great Commodore 64 game, The Last Ninja, because he can only walk in 4 directions from an isometric perspective, and he drowns in like a 2-foot stream in a Japanese garden.
That sounds like the most wonderful ninja I've ever heard. Oh my god.
But he doesn't deal ecstasy and smack hose like Ryu Hayabusa.
Goddamn right! I also love how the discs are giant 5 1/4 inch floppies. Even though we're supposed to be in the future with the Space Station Blue Dragon. Gotta love the quaintness of 80s, things like that.
But those can only hold, like, what, 512K of memory? It's not like it's 8 mega memory or anything. Come on.
Yeah, good God.
So here we are on the Phantom train.
Riding along the E-Tank Trail.
Collecting pills. I guess, kind of like how Coach from Left 4 Dead 2 enjoys pills, so does Strider Hiryu.
Yeah, I guess so. Those pills are your health increasing shit. And here's a mini-boss! It's dead now.
Here we hear the great mini-boss music that really is only like 2 notes.
So, this is a pyramid. It sure is tall.
And this music sure is Egyptian.
Yep.
So do we get to slide down the pyramid?
Nah. Actually, looking at this now, this gives me callbacks to Gunstar Heroes. The first level of Gunstar Heroes, where you're running after you beat the big guy that's made of blocks.
Oh, yeah.
Except Gunstar Heroes was way better at it.
Yeah, you know, I never really thought about that. Yeah, Bpwner, who is also probably one of the easiest mini-bosses in a game, next to Melon Bread, because at least Bpwner has attacks.
Yeah, that's true. So this pyramid is pretty non-linear. We have to go through it, like, twice to get everything. It's tricky like that.
Yeah, and I don't know
and
that...
here's a wall jump!
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The great terrain detection in this game, where if you push too hard into a wall, your sprite will just plummet at terminal velocity.
Yeah. Not like our good friend Ryu Hayabusa, who can just, cling to that stuff. No.
Yeah, and
you gotta do precise, frame-perfect wall kicks.
And in the arcade, Strider could just climb walls. I guess that was too convenient.
And now we've got Aqua Boots. They let you walk on water. You'll use this, like, how many times? Twice in the game, maybe?
That sounds about right.
Like, that water, and then in a future stage, you have to use it. Now, I want to just mention here, you see how I'm zipping along here? I swear to God, when I was playing this once, as I zipped up, the graphics totally jumbled and created this weird, glitchy thing. Like, you know how that would happen, like, on an actual NES back in the day?
Oh yeah, if the part had dust on it or something.
I was playing on an emulator. So, what happened?
Maybe you were just moving so fast that you distorted reality.
Maybe. Maybe that's exactly what happened. Now we got Hoppy Brains, which are nowhere nearly as annoying as they could be, quite honestly.
Yeah, at least it doesn't latch onto you and suck out your life force like a certain other non-linear platformer on the NES.
Hint, it's Metroid. Zelda 2. Oh. So, you can walk on water! Isn't that cool? Don't ask how this is working.
Only if your faith is strong.
I believe in Strider Hiryu.
And another thing I want to point out is how in Japan the series is actually called Strider Hiryu, but over here it's just called Strider. I guess we're too lazy to have a title with more than one word in it. Or maybe they thought Americans wouldn't know how to pronounce Hiryu. They might think it was...
Thank you for talking while I fuck up this wall jump, because it's seriously the worst fucking mechanic I've ever seen.
Hey, I've got to distract them from seeing the failure of the wall jump somehow. Clearly, I don't think Capcom wanted anybody to put that on display.
Well, yeah. Well, we got another commander at least.
Collecting commanders levels.
And now we get to wait. Now we get to wait for the key to spawn. Why does this have load times? I can answer my own question. It's because this game doesn't have 8 mega memory.
Well, maybe if they had just waited until the 16-bit era, then we wouldn't have to put in passwords. We could just have fancy schmancy stuff like save batteries.
Oh, and there's another thing that just happened. You saw how my health got, like, drained to shit in seconds? Strider has no hit stun, or hit invincibility, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, truly, that's the mark of a wonderful game.
He's a ninja. He don't need no hit invincibility.
Makes you wonder, though, if Ryu Hayabusa didn't get knocked back by everything, would he not have hit stun?
I can't see that making Ninja Gaiden any easier, trading knockback for, you know, the ability to not be chipped to death. But then again, I'm not the most proficient of Ninja Gaiden players.
I'm pretty confident in it. I think it would probably make it, like, really tough.
So here we backtrack to Kazakhstan again, the #1 exporter.
This is the thing that the game likes. This is the thing that the game likes to make you do a lot.
Somebody was really in love with this stage.
I swear to God, you have to do it over the course of the game like 4 or 5 times, something like that.
Yeah,
at least 4.
I do distinctly recall that there is a power-up which you use exactly once in the game that lets you walk up very specific walls, and one of those walls is located in the stage. If memory serves me right, probably the only one in the game.
No, there's one in the final stage, too.
Oh, yes, right.
I may or may not have watched a so-called expert play through this game a while ago.
You would probably remember more about such a video than I would.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, we've got a key and we can unlock a door. This is the non-linear aspect of this Strider game. It'd be cool if, you know, it actually mattered and it took you to more stages than just this one over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. Although there is a path in one stage that takes you to another stage, but I wouldn't really count that as non-linearity. I would...
Oh, look, a boss!
We're gonna see the Strider's power. It's to fight a guy on a unibike.
Now loading plot-twist.exe.
You got a bald guy hanging on a wall.
Now loading floppy disk.exe. Of course, the one nice thing they do here is that they take you back to the Blue Dragon, you know, make you walk all the way back. Thank them for it.
Probably the one time in the game where they're that generous with the not making you backtrack through Kazakhstan.
Look at this guy's fancy hair.
And those puppy dog eyes.
Japan might know something helpful.
Hey, Strider.
So we're going to go to Japan. And...
I think you better scoot on to Japan and talk to the chief there.
Okay, I'll just go right there. I like Japan. Do. I'm going to get myself some sushi. Okay. So, this is a very short stage, but we have to fight another mini-boss, the samurai. Dies in like 2 hits.
I never understood this part of the game. Is it like, he's going to talk to the chief of the Striders, but he's murdering the guards in the headquarters?
Maybe they're corrupt. Oh, and here I'm going to just use a trick, because they're there, but it's fucking weird as shit, because what you do is you gotta press select to go to this menu, then you pick the trick, then you gotta go back to the menu, you gotta pick the trick option to be able to use your sword again.
Yeah, if you pick the fire, you'll shoot a fireball until you run out of energy, and then you'll just be out of energy and not be able to use the sword unless you go back and into the screen and disable the trick. It's really...
I have no idea why it couldn't be like Zelda 2, because Zelda 2, select brought up, like, I think it was select brought up your menu and start use the magic, or the other way around, something like that.
Yeah.
The one button brought up the menu and paused the game. The other let you use the magic. But in Strider, start pauses the game outright, select brings up the trick menu.
Yeah, it's a little like
Why?
the first Mega Man. I can never remember what just pauses the game outright and what brings up the menu, so I usually end up hitting both before I figure it out.
Yeah, this happens to me sometimes too. Also, look, the graphics up top are kind of funky. I'm afraid this game is going to catch on fire.
Well, maybe if Had it been on a cart with 8 mega memory, it could have contained the awesomeness of the glitchy pixels.
Yeah. Zane's a very dreadful weapon. Makes you crazy. Oh no, things are happening.
Plot is developing in China.
Not Mr. Kane. Also, the thing we got in Japan lets you hold up your sword and charge it. I shot it off too early, so fuck this guy. Just gonna stab him in the face as he comes at me. So this is plot.
Epic ninja battle.
We're nearing the end of the video. I'm just gonna go to China to end it off, but no, that's it. This is the end of the Let's Play Springfest.
Faux shizzle,
What a
Fresnizzle.
ride it's been.
Oh wait, I thought we were doing catchphrases. Oh well.
Ice hot.
This
This competition has been indeed ice hot. I'd like to thank the judges. I'd like to thank the competitors for making wonderful videos. I'd like to thank Zenny for his lovely competition. And I'd like to thank you, Bpwner, for helping me out with this here video.
I've been Bpwner, and you have been listening to Fresno on WENR, the Wiener, weekdays in the morning.
That is just a brilliant way to end this video. Bye.
Bye.